Hi there everybody, this is Bill here and I just want to share with you a little series I made called the Late Night Reviews. These are a series of poems based around retro games. Now they do start off quite rusty. This is because I have no experience of editing or movie production, anything like that at all. I just jump straight in and sometimes that's the best way to learn. I do like to come back to these and look at the first episode to the last and just see the road to progression. However, I still think I've got a long way to go yet and that's why I'm holding off doing a second season. Anyway, I've put all 15 episodes together and I want you to tell me what you think. Even though they're a bit cheesy, I'm quite proud of what I achieved in under a year. Anyway, here's all 15 episodes, back to back. I hope you enjoy them.
Player with power. Late Night Reviews.
So many games, but what to choose? Let's give this a go, we've got nothing to lose. Once upon a time, there was Mario Brothers 3. A game for him, for her, for you, for me. But how's it stand the test of time? Let's power up and see. It's got to be one of the best games ever made, so let me take the time to tell you how it's played. You start your quest on level 1. The first map, Grassland, was pretty fun. Picking up the super leaf will let our hero fly, helping you collect the hidden coins and the extra guy. Visit Toad's house and pick up your essentials. Enter the castle at your peril. Play the minigames that would stress me out. Press all the buttons, is worth a shout. Bowser's had 7 kids you will need to face. Defeat them and put the wands back in their rightful place. If you find a level that's becoming as tough as glue, it might be worth using the cloud. It lets you pass right through. The Hammer Brothers you battle can sometimes be annoying, when the stage ahead is what you could be enjoying. Collect all the suits like Frog, Tanuki and Hammer, each one does the job like an adjustable spanner. Explore 8 different worlds from fire to ice, board a ship that goes great heights. There is the land of giants that people put at the top, but I can't think of any level I'll be comfortable getting dropped. You find a magic whistle that helps you walk between the lands. However, this isn't the kind of instrument used by any bands. Looking back in time, Mario 3 was best. It gave Nintendo's system a real hardware test. But without the HD graphics, without the DLC, the future generations may question its positivity. But for me it's not the graphics, it's not the funky sounds, it's all the childhood memories and good times that were found. It was back when times were simple, when power was judged in bits. So Mario 3 to me will always be legit. It's a wet windy night and it's approaching Devil's Hour, so let's pick something up and turn on the power. Tonight is Castlevania, a well-known name, so let's take a trip on the memory plane. You take the form of Simon B, a vampire killer. I'm sure you agree. Inspired by the Hammer and late night horror shows, I would accidentally fall asleep and wake up at the close. Simon also has a whip and it's what he's famous for, making Indiana Jones a little less hardcore. You follow a map around Dracula's fortress, so if you want to survive, you better be cautious. A good thing to mention is its use of control. You can jump, crouch and whip to achieve your goal. Though I must make a correction, as many creatures cast reflections. Sure, there's vampires you'll fight, but let's not forget the creatures of the night. There's the blood skeleton that doesn't like dying, and the hunchbacks that like to go flying. There's knights that throw axes that drain half your health, and a guest appearance from Death, the Grim Reaper himself. You find a pork chop in the stone and mortar. You collect the hearts for cross axe and holy water. If you can make it to Dracula, you can knock off his head, though his second form is what some people dread. You've finished the final brawl, and now Dracula's castle begins to fall. What an amazing game, but What's with the names? Bello Lugosi, Christopher B? Whatever you're smoking, don't give it to me. I guess there's nothing really left for me to say, other than I still play this today. But if Castlevania is still a mystery, I suggest playing some of your history. It's dark, it's wet, it's windy, and it's nearly time to sleep. So let's pick a game before I start counting sheep. Tonight we play a classic, you know what I'm naming. Super Mario Brothers. I don't hear you complaining. Wow, the first time I played this, I didn't last a second, running into the first Goomba, making me feel threatened. My brother took a turn and pressed the jump button, hitting one of the question blocks to release a magic mushroom. Chuck some fireballs with the help of the fire flower. Take out all the bad guys. Now you're playing with power. Before you complete a level, you have to jump on a flagpole, earning some points as an award for your goal. You take the underground, but not to catch a train. Many of the game's secrets are down here, so it's time to use your brain. There isn't a password system or feature to save the game, but it did have something different, so let me explain. One day I took a jump, high above the screen. I ran to the right until the warp zone was seen. You could jump between the worlds. I thought it was a glitch. Remember, we had no internet, so research was a bitch. The sea is an area some people hate. Dodging bloopers and cheat sheets would leave you as bait. Completing the castles were definitely a curse. My parents stayed up late and managed to get there first. They told me they saw strange missiles that flew across the screen. It must have been a late one as they're both drinking caffeine. Turns out those missiles were coming from Bowser. He's easier to defeat if you've got extra power. With Bowser now gone, you meet a dwarf, but things go sour when he starts flipping you off. There are 8 worlds to pass that consist of 4 stages, enough to keep my family entertained for ages. Looking back at the manual, it was full of mystery. Who was the princess? Claim your own victory. So that's Mario Brothers, the first game I ever played. So what's left to say, other than this is how real games are made? It's cold outside, but it's warm in here. So let's grab a game and an ice cold beer. Ooh, yeah. Let's step things up with a Super Nintendo, a console that some, if not all of you, should know. Starwing was a game that would make me flip. It used some hardware called the FX chip. And boom! You join a team of animals, you being Fox McCloud, taking control of the R-Wing that can travel the speed of sound. You go on a hunt for the evil Andros, taking down his forces and the occasional end boss. You travel through space with aid of a map screen. There's quite a few levels, and some still I haven't seen. People look at the graphics and call it obsolete, but for me it holds a quality that future developers can't repeat. You can power up your ship by getting twin blasters, but getting a wing damage is an absolute disaster. The orchestral style of music really works for me, hitting the vein of Star Wars and Kubrick's Space Odyssey. The bosses are intimidating and really well designed. Defeating them takes strategy, so you have to use your mind. The game was really dark and featured some brutal scenes. Your buddies could be taken out, so it's better working as a team. There was a few cryptic ways of finding hidden zones. But in this day and age, you just need to look at your phones. There was the awesome black hole and a sinister shooting star. But finding them without the internet would leave you travelling far. Starwing is one of my favourites, and possibly my number 1. Although some of the times I played it, I nearly broke a thumb. In conclusion, Starwing is a classic, but I feel it needs more praise. So give it a go sometime. It's good in so many ways. What's up, dog? It's cats and dogs outside, and it's nearly time to go. But hey, before we do, let's play a game you'll know. It's Super Mario World, the sequel to Mario 3, one of the best games on the SNES. Well, at least it was for me. When I hear that startup music, I feel like I'm late for class. But then it's back to reality to realise much time has passed. The first time I saw it was on the Games Master show, and again on TV through Tandy's store window. It wasn't before long that I got my own copy. It was an emotional moment, without sounding soppy. One of the game's famous areas is the arrival of our green friend. His name is Yoshi. He'll stick by you to the end. Bowser's kids are back to give it another pop, though this time round they're tougher and I found them harder to stop. Mario World had a huge map and it was joined together as one. I knew I'd be here a while, even before the game had begun. The suits from 3 are gone and it's a sad thing for Mario to lose, but things are made up with a cape, which I'm still not sure how to use. I couldn't see Bowser's castle and wondered where it could be. It wasn't until later that it rose up from the sea. The ghost houses you find fill Yoshi's heart with doubt. Well, what do you expect when there's only one way to get out? The levels were really colourful and it had great artistic style. Creating a game like this must have taken a while. There's a whole host of new enemies, ranging from the old to the new, such as the Banzai Bill and the famous ghosts called Boo. If you can make it to the end, Bowser looks the bee's knees. But what the heck's he flying? You've got to love the Japanese. With an epic battle now over, the princess is safely returned. So sit back and watch the credits, and reflect on what you've learned. So that's Mario World, and it's one of the best. So knock the dust off that controller and get ready for the ultimate test. Every time I play it, it gives me a warm feeling inside. And after all these years, Mario World is still alive. The night is dark and full of terror, so let's pick a game for stormy weather. Probotector Alien Rebels or Contra 3, whatever you're playing, it's all the same to me. Perfect for a Saturday, next to the fire, feeling cozy. The intro screen was terrifying and reminded me of a Rotosuka Doji. The game is for 1 or 2 players, but tonight I'm home alone. I would give a controller to Wilson, but he'd probably think it's a bone. It plays as a scrolling shooter and is famous under this roof. Others that have played it know I speak the truth. There are many different weapons, from laser to powerful missiles. But here's a little trick that really is the shizzle. Grab a turbo controller and give the X button a switch. You'll begin to see your power-ups rapidly start to shift. And when you open fire, you'll have the ultimate gun. I know, it's probably cheating, but you can't deny it isn't fun. This game is really hectic and it will make you laugh out loud. But when defeating a boss, it will leave you feeling proud. One of my favourite battles is fighting a giant ship. Though my heart was ready to explode, but it's something I couldn't skip. There is the massive turtle, and too many more to mention. And if you play the game on hard, the final boss gets an extension. It had some iconic scenes, like where the plane drops the bomb. It was amazing to see Mode 7, it made Nintendo's system strong. It's very well designed, and I see hints of H.R. Geiger. Okay, and now there's facehuggers. Those alien films definitely inspire. The top-down stages leave some people feeling motion sick. But yeah, I never had this problem, as I grew up with Weetabix. So, if you're ready for action and want to feel Nintendo fever, pop this game in your system and become a Konami believer. It's 2:17 and the start of all things new, and oh my god, it's Street Fighter 2. But this one is different to the previous you know, as now we step things up with added turbo. What's better about this is the ability to go faster, not to mention playability of all the old masters. There's a range of new moves for you to learn, like the Yoga Teleport, which would make my thumbs burn. The old moves are there to test your ability, like Hadouken, Sonic Boom and Blanca's Electricity. Travel around the world with the use of a plane. Visit Japan, Brazil, India and Spain. The controls work well and I'll give them a shout, but the game's so frantic I nearly wore them all out. The bonus levels are fun, like when you smash up the car. It's a bit weird, but your points can go far. Yeah, well, I guess it's time to talk about the movie. Actually, never mind, it's really quite goofy. The Japanese animation is what you should see. It stays more faithful to the game. You have my guarantee. It's time to head to China to fight Chun-Li. But what's he doing to that chicken? That doesn't look right to me. The first time I fought Vega, he was way too fast to beat. He took months, if not years, to finally defeat. When you beat your opponent, they're left bloody and bruised. But this is what happens when you're born to lose. Grab a turbo controller, it's time to get busy. E-Honda's 100 hand slap will leave opponents dizzy. The fighting talk may raise alarm. Like when Zangief says he's going to break your arms. Street Fighter today is still going strong. So pop it in your system, you can't go wrong. Now it's time to bid you adieu. Go kick some ass, long live Street Fighter 2. Tonight we're trying something different, as I'm not going to pick a game. I'm going to talk about the memories and the importance of collecting today. It started back in the 80s when my parents bought an NES. I remember the first time playing, it felt like the TV was possessed. Me and my brother had quite a few games, but there was one that topped them all. Super Mario 3, one game to rule them all. We often went to car boot sales and was allowed to pick one cartridge, but when it came to no boxing instructions, we had to judge by the artist. Yeah, we got some stinkers, but we got some good ones too, and I remember trying to take them back if the game was really poo. I remember Christmas morning I got given a Gameboy, and the second my mum found Tetris, this thing was no longer a toy. The time we bought a Super NES, I was so proud I told my teacher. I told every one of my buddies too. I was a real Nintendo preacher. This new console had something for every sort of guy. Street Fighter, Mario, Starwing. Wow, the Super wasn't a lie. Who remembers the adverts Rick Mail started presenting? Now here's a guy I've got no problem Nintendo representing. Getting a Megadrive for my birthday is when things started to get serious. But when you're playing with blast processing, expect to become delirious. We walked the streets of rage, we had the golden axe, we even played Mortal Kombat, giving our parents heart attacks. The internet was not around, but this made the mystery stronger. Trying to find tips and magazines made all the fun last longer. I'm sure many of you remember the Games Master show, and who could forget the consultation zone. There are many different ways that I like to get the historic feeling, by visiting my childhood town, or books or films with meaning. I kept all my old drawings and photos from my youth. Some are pretty embarrassing, if you want the real truth. But in honesty, it's the games that take me back, that help me hold on to the past and keep nostalgia on track. My fiancée does it with records, as it reminds her of her granddad. She has a collection of books too, but if I touch them she gets mad. I know, I'm 30-something, and some may say it immature, but if anything can relive a happy past, I don't think it should be ignored. So I thank you all for watching as we look back in the past. So enjoy all life's moments, because my God does time go fast. The house is empty apart from me and my hound, so let's dim the lights, because look what I found. It's Splatterhouse 2 on the Megadrive, a house that many won't get out alive. Your name is Rick, in search of his lady, punching monsters in half and chainsawing babies. With the focus on Mortal Kombat for its mind-altering gore, Splatterhouse sat in the background, and I was surprised it was ignored. Inspired by horror of the 80s that would make us stay up late. Oh, and there's definitely a resemblance to our friend from Camp Crystal Lake. I see other movie references like The Deadly Spawn, and oh no, it's the killer hand from Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. The controls are a struggle and you'll work like a slave. And what's the up button do? I piss on your grave. I guess the bosses are a highlight for me, each one having their own fatality. Rick can pick up weapons, from pipes to guns. Because using your fists isn't as fun. I played the remake on the Xbox 360, and with the graphics enhanced, it can get quite sickly. Kick a monster in the river and watch him wave goodbye. And how could I forget the octopus chucking thorns into its eye? Yeah, this game gets repetitive, and it's something I never completed, and I think I got as far as a fly, that I never defeated. It's the only Megadrive game to get itself banned, but it only happened in Germany, not the rest of the land. So if you're looking for a bit of violence that never hurt anybody, check out Splatterhouse 2, because if you don't,
You'll be sorry.
It's the 10th episode, so let's celebrate, and it's a good one tonight because I can't wait. So I guess I've saved the best till last, because tonight we're playing A Link to the Past. The first two games featured on the NES, but this one in my eyes looks the best. You know you got excited when you saw the giant map, however it doesn't give you the ability to lose the thinking cap. It also came with info on some of the top secrets. I know, life without internet means you have to use leaflets. A distant plea for help leaves your uncle with an eerie feeling. It's time to wake up from whatever Link's dreaming. Your uncle heads out, but tells you to stay at home. But yeah, screw that, I'm not waiting alone. Right at the beginning is one of my fondest memories. The thunder and lightning, your only enemy. Link to the Past has aged like wine, and I never owned a copy, so let's go back in time. So I made it as far as beating the first boss. I know, it's lame, but I kept getting lost. As a kid, I didn't have the brain power to solve some of the puzzles. If you couldn't blow it up, it just looked like trouble. But one of my friends really loved to play, and I'd sit in the background and help along the way. We explored all the dungeons, and we picked up the items, and when we're stuck in a dark area, we'd use the lamp to lighten. The music of Zelda is an award-winning formula. I mean, what other game has its own orchestra? Zelda is huge, and it's gained worldwide interest. And of course Robin Williams, naming his daughter after the princess. For some people Zelda is more than just a game. Think of it as an adventure, without having to catch a train. One thing I regret was seeing Ganon too soon. This was while seeing Family. The ultimate spoiler of Doom. I never fought with Aghanim, I never got the Master Sword. Hearing about this today is something I should have explored. I never saw the Dark World, and I never climbed Death Mountain, but I did attack a few chickens and end up taking a pounding. Seriously, there's so much more to mention, and I've only scratched the surface. But without all the memories, I can't do it service. So thank you all for watching and celebrating episode 10. I hope you've had a blast. I'll see you all again. Tonight I've picked a game that's gonna float your boat. Wilson, do us a favour and hit that TV remote. Another World is a game that's less well known. I can't get signal. Can someone lend me their phone? Oh crap, no TV. This really takes the piss. It's lucky I've got the footage of my phone, so we'll have to make do with this. You start the game as a scientist, testing out his new invention. Unlucky for him as he's sent to a new dimension. Now this is a game that would keep you on your toes. Anyone that's played Prince of Persia definitely knows. Seeing the beast would freak me out. I've been playing 30 seconds. It doesn't mess about. You're eventually captured and thrown in jail, but swing that cage and get out on bail. You also find a gun, which is a nice bit of luck. Though it looks familiar, it's not for shooting duck. You can use it to make force fields, or charge it to blast through doors. This sort of weapon doesn't obey scientific laws. You've got yourself a new buddy, and he'll help you along the way, but one thing I didn't get, was what the hell did he say? One thing I admire is the game's simplicity. The animation and style definitely agrees with me. Despite its action, it works on puzzles. If you've left your brain at home, you could be in trouble. The music was excellent and it was creepy at times, but it occasionally stepped up when your ass is on the line. The hardest part was definitely the caves, and running from the water left me traumatised for days. The game featured cutscenes and it was like watching a movie, including all your grisly deaths. Hey, that ain't groovy. There weren't many SNES games that would leave us all to cower, apart from maybe Doom and the infamous Clock Tower. I loved the last level, it got really intense. Shoot everything that moves! You know it makes sense! Attentional spoilers, the ending's quite sad, but it's left open to a sequel, so it can't all be bad. To finalise, it's a classic that's best played alone. So dim those lights, and help me find a way home.
Where has he gone? It's nearly 2. Come on, hurry up. I need a poo.
Wow, I finally made it back, and for that I deserve an award. And Wilson, what have you got there? Ah, his Ouija board. So now that I'm back in the comfort of my room, it's time to play a game called... Huh? So I guess we've reached the shores of hell. Well, that's perfect, we played Doom. The setting suits it well. Oh good, the TV, it must have come along. Let's plug and play, you can't go wrong. Doom was actually my first 3D experience. I played it on multiplayer, so things got serious. The game has its own story, and you can read about it in a book. And not to mention the comics, they're definitely worth a look. It's one of those games where you kill all that breathes, and to proceed through the levels you need to use keys. It was renowned for its violence, at least for its time. You could brutally kill something without committing a crime. It's an early first-person shooter, but I'd pick it against the rest. The fast and simple gameplay would make a rainy Saturday the best. Imps, cacodemons, the Baron of Hell. It's easy to see these enemies are designed well. We all loved the face and how it took damage, and when you're at 1%, you're looking pretty savage. There are many stages and secrets crammed into each episode, not to mention all the sequels too. You don't have long to reload. I love the plasma rifle, and I'm sure you'll agree, though nothing could compare to the notorious BFG. The SNES version, to be honest, I always found hard to play. I was more used to playing on the PC and its super clear display. Cause some chaos in the crossfire and get your enemies to fight. It's always a good move if your ammo is getting light. The Spider Mastermind, the Cyber Demon, these were some of the game's bosses. Yeah, they're pretty easy to defeat, but we all took our losses. The weapons are iconic, and when I fire them I see red, especially the chainsaw. Is that a nod to the Evil Dead? The music from Doom is memorable, and it suits the game's environment. I'm sure I remember those tunes well into my retirement. Look, Doom is so well known, does it really need more praise? Well, I'm gonna say hell yes, so give your drink a raise. So we made it back from hell, and I think I nearly died. So let's pick a game, and let me be your guide. To be honest, I'm worried about what's going to happen next. Oh, there we go, I've just got a text. Well done, Bill, you made it through hell. outside are some cars that Satan couldn't sell. Check it out, Wilson, we got a hot new ride. Let's go for a race. I'll be right by your side. Start your engine and get ready for the green light. That little mite. I guess by now you know what we're playing. Super Mario Kart, it goes without saying. Only an idiot would drive on their phone, but this isn't real, so I can try it at home. Mario Kart was a game that brought us all together. Playing head to head was perfect for wet weather. It was more than just a racer that we'd all seen before. In this you can pick up items and actually declare war. There's a green and red shell, one of which is homing, and the star makes you invincible, so the course you'll be owning. Oh great, it looks like Wilson's got the lightning.
This makes you small, which is actually pretty frightening. The banana peel
Is used to leave your opponent slipping. Hit this on the last lap, and you're gonna be tripping. Play as all the characters like Mario, Luigi and Toad, but each of them handles differently. So think before you hit the road. There are many different stages and one that features ghosts. I found this the hardest because whoa, that was close. During the last lap, things can get hairy. Anything can happen, so use your items carefully. Wilson's just up ahead, so let's win this race. I won't let that hound be the winner of first place. So that's Mario Kart, and you can't win them all, so grab one of your friends and run them into the wall. Wilson, hold it in! Let me grab my jacket! Don't do it on the carpet. Oh, now you've really had it. Sorry guys, got no time to play a game tonight. It looks like Wilson's on a mission to fill this house with shite. Wait a minute, I know something for people on the go. And that's Nintendo Game Boy. You guess it? Nah, too slow. Grab yourself some batteries that are made to be everlasting, and let's go walk this beast. I'm a master of multitasking. The first time I saw one was during my school play. One of the kids brought it in before we hit the stage. I remember when I got mine, it happened on Christmas Day. The first game I played was Tetris all the way. Before we had our dinner, we went for a Christmas walk. But I forgot to take it with me. What an absolute dork. The Game Boy had no backlight, so you had trouble in the dark. Even in the sunlight, the visibility was hard to get sharp. It also wasn't in colour, its display was in shades of green. You never knew the struggle as you sit with your iPad screen. You could change the Game Boy's contrast with control that was out of sight, but I always found this pointless. Who would want the screen that bright? I mentioned about the batteries and it took 4 of them to work, but it wasn't as bad as the Game Gear. That would drain them with a smirk. For me, Game Boy had a charm and it kept me coming back. Mario Land and Tetris for the occasional time attack. It took these little cartridges that were smaller than its bros, but just because they're tiny, it doesn't mean you don't have to blow. I have all the games from my childhood and they're a lot of fun to play. Not forgetting the Game Boy camera, but we'll visit that another day. There were many different accessories that would light up or magnify the screen, including the Handy Boy. My god, that thing was obscene! It was leader of the handhelds and revolutionary for its day, and despite having some flaws, it was still a joy to play. Game Boy helped us through long journeys and eased people's fear to fly. Ah, there go the batteries. Huh? Now where the hell am I? I'm ready for bed, and Wilson's beginning to snore. Open up! Let me in! Is that someone at the door? Hey, it's my twin. He's from another dimension, where things are mixed up, I'm embarrassed to mention. He's from a world where Pepsi tastes like Coke, where Elvis still lives, and Biggie didn't smoke. Also, he was Sega, and I'm Nintendo. You can pretty much tell by his dress sense that he wants you all to know. Well, I'm here again to play another game, but what should we play, even though we're thinking the same? So many games, but what to choose? Let me pick so you can lose. Let's play Mortal Kombat, that was pretty good. Though it's spelt with a C if you're from my hood. What? It starts with a C, not this again. Next you'll be telling me Big Bill is Ben. It's spelt with a K, you brain-dead fool. Like how cool kids spelt school. Well, I guess you're stupid. Learn to spell. If you don't like it, I'll see you in hell. Ooh, sorry about that. Sometimes I see red. You made a hole in my ceiling! Ooh, you are dead. So I guess it's a fight, and the winner takes the letter. Soon you will see Special K tastes better. Don't give me that. Soon you will see the almighty power of vitamin C. You said the same word. That doesn't rhyme. Same word, different meaning. Okay, it's time.
Fight!
Back in the day, this game was pretty violent. Parents went mad. Oh! The sensors went silent. Oh! It's anything go, so expect some low blows. Oh! Oh, I can't breathe. Everything's gone slow.
Outstanding. Fight!
See, there you go. It's your turn for the roof. Oh my god, I just lost a tooth. Wait, what are you doing? You're humping the floor? I'm trying the ice blast. Down, forward. I brought out the specials way too soon. Let's see how you like Scorpion's Harpoon.
Come here!
Your health is low, that I can see. Let's end this fight with a fatality.
Finish him!
What the hell? Chill out, Ghost Rider. That's the last time I ask you for a lighter. Oh man. You want a fatality that's a favourite of mine? Come here, you slag, and give me that spine. Now I've claimed your head. Do you have anything left to say? Okay, alright, you win. It's a K.
Fatality.
1, 2, 3. If you close the door, the night could last forever. Leave the sun shine out and say hello to never. All the people are dancing and they're having such fun. I wish it could happen to me. But if you close the door, I'd never have to see the day again. If you close the door, the night could last forever. Leave the wine glass out and drink a toast to never. Or someday I know someone will look into my eyes and say, hello, you're my very special one. But if you close the door, I'd never have to see the day again. And if you close the door, the night could last forever. Leave the sun shine out and say hello to never. All the people are dancing and they're having such fun. I wish it could happen I'd never have to see the